thank you for joining me today, or tonight if you're in a later time zone. For me, it is 8:27 p.m. on a pretty chilly Wednesday night, the middle of February. I thought I would give ASMR a try because I've been a fan of the genre for a long time, and I didn't have too much to do tonight, so I thought it would be fun to give it a shot. So, for my first video, I decided we would go on a little tour of my field bag, or research bag, if you will, because this is what I take when I'm doing field work for school, and whenever I have a project that requires me to do some field research or collect data out in the outdoors. I'm typically taking this bag along with me. It's got all the tools I need for collecting data, like I said. And I think it's a pretty good looking bag as well. To start off, it's composed of, looks like two main materials. This nice canvas material. Seems very durable. I don't know how they do that with canvas. You get these little almost like diamonds or circles threaded into it. Makes it a very strong texture and nice to the touch. The color of this canvas is kind of tan, burlap maybe. You could say it's potato colored even. But the other material we have is this kind of, I think it's pleather, like a fake leather, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm not really an expert on that sort of thing. I don't own leather aside from like this and maybe a belt, but I think that's fake too. But it seems like a pretty nice, it's got some durability to it as well. So that combined with the canvas and these robust buckles and buttons make for a pretty strong bag. The bag was designed by Hide and Drink, which is a product of Mexico, it says. Not sure where Hide and Drink is located in, but they make some good products. I received this bag as a gift, and I think I may have another one of their products, but I'm not too sure. But getting on to some of the features of this bag now. Like I said earlier, it's got this nice buckle with a big front cover that houses the two compartments on the inside that we'll go over in a second. On the front we have two gear loops made of leather. We have one on the side as well. It's quite a bit longer. And then this odd one on the back, which I'm not too sure what it would be used for. Because if you're wearing it on your belts through here in these belt loops, then this would be up against your legs, and maybe a secret pencil or something. But that's there nonetheless. If we open up this bag, we can start looking at the two compartments we have available. This front compartment and the back compartment. And some extra little space that I've stashed pens and pencils and stuff. So on the front, welcoming us first, is these two brushes, which I have that help me to dust off any debris or dirt and specimens like rocks, insects, or plants. Anything that you can collect in nature can get dirt on it, really, so you need some rocks, or not rocks, some brushes to dust away the rocks. But it has some writing here on the side, but I'm not entirely sure what it says. Probably just says paintbrush or something, but it works well enough. And I have two of them in case I lose one or need to get a little bit more detailed into the brushwork. On the other side, I have something new. These nice bags that I got from another friend in one of my classes. specimen bags. You can write your specimen in here and then the date and maybe the location where you collected it. I only have 5 of them, so I wanted to make sure I use them wisely. Maybe I'll figure out a washable pen that I can put on there so I can use them again. Next up in here I have some supplies for getting really intricate with specimens. Typically this is for pinning insects. You have this flat one to brace and move things around with this tinier one. Now, if you're not doing this while the insect's alive, of course, that'd be inhumane. You pin them after they're already dead, and you find them or you find them alive and you can freeze them and then pin them afterwards, which, again, is a little barbaric, but that's what entomologists gotta do sometimes, to actually study these insects. So, going on, we have a Sharpie pen, extra fine point. It's a fine pen itself. Works well, can write on most surfaces, which is good when you're in the field and the only thing you have to write on is your hand or something. I also have a pencil, just for the iconic classic taste that is the pencil. I love using pencils. That's what I use most of the time, mostly because I like being able to erase my mistakes. And then this is another tool used for intricate detailing work or separating things. Like if you have a whole bunch of tiny mites, you can separate them one by one to male and female and so forth, which I've had to do before and it takes quite a while. Moving further into the bag, we have this kind of interesting darker bronze maybe color for the zipper housing. It's a YKK zipper, of course. Check your zipper on your jacket. I bet it's a YKK zipper as well. And then looking aside, we got more of our tools. So, starting off, we have a flashlight that does not have any batteries in it. I don't know if you guys are aware, but keeping your batteries in your electronics will inevitably cause them to corrode some of the parts that it has to touch, the connections from the leakage from the battery. So I typically don't like keeping batteries in my tools, especially flashlights or headlamps or something that you might need when you're backpacking or hiking or doing something on the field. So it's kind of just a fidget toy right now, but it works well enough. Next up we have a IKEA tape measure. An IKEA tape measure, I guess. I don't know why, but I've always liked the idea of tape measures. I thought it was pretty smart. Whoever invented it, clever person. I thought they were kind of fun. Even ever since I was little, I just like how they come back to themselves like that real fast. But I use that for measuring species or measuring distances between things or plots of land, areas, whatnot. It's only like 3 meters, so I can't do anything serious, but it works well enough. Next up is this bulbous red, I guess you can call it a fan. All it does is press and blow air whenever you squeeze. You can suction out a liquid as well, but I've only used it to blow air or dust off things like little geodes or rocks that I find. It works well in getting dirt off of any specimens you have. Going further into it, we have some assorted canisters for specimens. These I use for I use these for insect collection when I was doing a project where I had to collect 50 insects and identify them all. And I put the tape around them so I could label them and also so they wouldn't shatter in the cold. But hopefully that's not crazy loud. I got them in a pack of like 20 or something for relatively cheap online. But they work pretty well. Oh, in case you're wondering, Diptera is the order name for flies. Orders are the one rank above families, which are what we had to identify for the class. So, for instance, if I was identifying a fly, I would look at its features and say it's a Simulidae or Muscidae fly or whatever, depending on, what I had caught. Next up in our bag we have a pretty basic compass. Whoa. Points directions. Nothing too crazy about it. It works well, but you always should have one on you if you're going out into the field. Now we have a nice little magnifying glass, which I'm not sure of the magnification of this glass, but it does have two separate magnifications. This larger one is a bit lower than the smaller one, I'm aware. I don't know if you can see the difference in the canvas on the two, but the smaller one should be a little bit higher magnification. I also have this one, which I believe is like times 12 magnification. This is a jeweler's loupe, and this helps me get in really close and personal with any rocks I'm dealing with that day, which is pretty nice. I like using it, and maybe I can use it in another video. And then finally we have a blank piece of paper with a hair on it, I guess. Blank piece of paper for taking pictures of specimens. I can put a rock here, I can put a bug here, take a quick picture of it. It'll look nice and professional. I believe that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll keep trying to make them, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Thank you so much.